going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We have made it, my friends. I am finally reviewing Mission Impossible Fallout. We went out to Target yesterday. I picked this up, finally got the Blu-ray, and it has a slipcover. I'm a big fan of slipcovers. It gives it that nice, sleek feel that this movie especially should have. Alright, I'm gonna put you back right there. Let's get into the review. So Mission Impossible Fallout is directed by Christopher McQuarrie, and it stars Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson, and Simon Pegg. And it tells the story of Ethan Hunt and his team who must prevent a group of terrorists known as the Apostles from causing nuclear fallout after a mission gone wrong. Jumping right into my positives for this movie, positive number one, this has to be the first thing I mention, the action. This movie is the best action movie that we've had in probably 10 years. I'm not even kidding, guys. It is going to take a lot to top the action in this movie because the action in this film is flawless. It's incredible. It's so well directed. There's long, wide takes, practical stunts, practical effects, and most importantly, there are no stunt doubles. And that always helps when you see the actual characters doing this stuff themselves. It gets you more on the edge of your seat because you see the people that you're connected to going through these harsh situations. Positive number two, the directing. Christopher McQuarrie also directed the film before this one, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and this is a direct sequel to that film, and Christopher McQuarrie coming back as director once again is amazing. He is such a good director. I hope he directs the next few Mission Impossible movies because he has such a good vision of what Mission Impossible should be. And it's kind of funny too because Tom Cruise originally said that he wanted a different director to direct each movie so that each one would feel new and fresh every time. But somehow, even though Christopher McQuarrie is directing this, it still feels fresh and new. His direction of the action scenes, the emotional scenes, the investigative scenes as well. There are a lot of investigatory scenes in this movie that were actually very investing. That credit should go to Christopher McQuarrie for how well he helmed them. Positive number three, the score. Lorne Balfe did the score for this movie, and his compositions, in my opinion, are the best in the entire series. I know there's a lot of people that aren't going to agree with me, but listen to the theme from the original Mission Impossible, and then listen to the theme from this Mission Impossible. In fact, I'll play them side by side for you right now. Here's the theme from the original Mission Impossible. Now here's the theme from this Mission Impossible. You see what I'm talking about? This theme is just so much more epic, there's so much more bass, and the stakes just feel higher because they are. I mean, the title of the film is Fallout. The title itself lets you know that the stakes in this film are going to be much higher than the previous entries, especially since we're dealing with nuclear fallout here, guys. There's also a certain composition in the movie that involves a piano, and it's kind of a ominous, mysterious, investigative type thing. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it works so well in all the scenes that it was in because they used it a lot, and it always felt like a part of this movie. It was a very intriguing piece of music. And obviously not just that piece of music, I already showed you the theme for this movie. It's all fantastic. Positive number four, the tone. The tone of this movie is so good. As I already said, the stakes in this movie are so much higher than they have been in previous entries. Literally, the entire United States is under threat of nuclear fallout. And so our heroes hardly ever have a second to rest, and they're always on the run. They're always on edge. There's just this tone throughout this movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. This film does feel like the finale to this entire series, even though Tom Cruise has already confirmed that there's going to be a Mission Impossible 7 and 8. So yeah, the tone of this movie does feel like this huge finale that we've been building to for the past 22 years. 22 years. Feel old yet? Positive number five, the performances. I'm not sure what else I need to say, okay? It's Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, Henry Cavill. These are all amazing actors. Do I really need to tell you about their performances? All I need to tell you is that they were fantastic. I really don't need to say anything else. Obviously, the performances are amazing. Especially Henry Cavill. His performance really stood out to me in this movie. It was a really intriguing performance. Plus, Rebecca Ferguson, again, is just amazing. She's basically Lara Croft as a secret agent. Yeah, that's who she is. Positive number 6, the tie-ins. Now what I mean by this is how this film ties into every single other film in the series. We have a character from Mission Impossible 3 who comes back, and that actually added some really good emotional depth and weight. And also, as I said, this is a direct sequel to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. The way it ties into the rest of the series was just so good. They did it so well, and I also think that's why this feels like a grand finale, because it makes so many callbacks to the previous films. It has so many characters from the previous films who come back, and it just, as I keep on saying, it just feels like this big thing we've been building up to for so long. Positive number 7, the finale. The finale in this film is, hands down, the best finale out of all the Mission Impossible films. I am not playing around, guys. The finale of this movie is nail-biting, thrilling. Your palms will sweat. You will be on the edge of your seat. You are laser-focused on this film. You will probably have completely forgotten about your popcorn and soda because of how invested you are. And there will be a moment when you realize, this movie is incredible. Because it is! Unfortunately, it is time to get into my negatives, but I only have one. So, my only negative is the predictable twist. I'm not saying this entire movie is predictable, because the entire movie is nowhere near predictable. There are a lot of surprises and shocks throughout this movie. However, there is a surprise villain that comes up, and I figured it out way in advance. I kind of already suspected that this person would be a villain just based on their behavior. That person did make for a good villain, but it just was way too obvious in my opinion, because normally I'm not the best at predicting the twists in movies, and the fact that I predicted this one like 30 minutes in advance is kind of disappointing, but that's also such a small part of the movie, and if that's the only negative I have for this huge, broad spectacle, grand scale action film, then that's pretty impressive. Now I know a ton of people are going to be asking this. Do I think that this is the best Mission Impossible film? Well, here's the thing, guys. I love this movie. But do I really think that it's the best Mission Impossible movie? Yes. Hands down, period. Just the best. This is the best Mission Impossible movie. Some of the other ones do come close, but this is the best Mission Impossible movie we've ever had. Yes, this is the best Mission Impossible film we've had. And after rewatching it today and after reviewing it, I feel extremely comfortable giving it a 9.9 out of 10. I can see so many of you right now just going, what? Ugh, dang it, why didn't you give it the 10 out of 10? Guys, it was just that predictable twist, but like I said, it was such a small part, I literally only took off 1/10, okay? 9.9 out of 10? You can consider that a nearly flawless movie. And I certainly haven't given a movie a 10 out of 10 yet, but this movie came very, very close, a 9.9 out of 10. If I give a movie a 10 out of 10, I'm gonna have the poster. Now that doesn't mean that movies that I give below a 10 out of 10 aren't gonna be hung up in my room, because take a look at this wall over here. That poster is amazing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.